This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back, everybody. To better explain what we're going to dig into today, I'm going to use song titles. I get downloads of music, and I got them right now. The one song it was a dance song, Hadaway, 90s, What is Love?
Oh, I love that
What
song.
is Love? That was a great song. And then Foreigner, I Want to Know What Love Is. We're going to talk about love today. And when you hear that word, you right away conjure up a picture of what it is or what you feel and all that. But it's potentially much bigger than you would think. And if you look at it in a different way, it can really move your life forward. As she does. She's a transformational life coach. She's Donna Day, our professional of the year, and she's back with us. How's everything going with you?
Oh, it's great. I'm so happy to be back.
Good to have you back. And this is, with Thanksgiving and the holidays coming up, I think it's impactful to talk about this. Yeah, there's gratitude with Thanksgiving and all of that. But as I understand it, love is one of the highest vibrations you can have. Joy, I think, is just above it, but love is kind of right there. You think that a lot of people hear that word and don't really fully get the power of love? Oh, there's another song title, Celine Dion.
Yeah.
Didn't even try. You think?
So, yeah, I feel, a lot of people associate love with like family or like romance, but love isn't just a feeling between people in like a romance novel. It's the most creative, healing, and like transmuting force in the universe, whether it's self-love, friendship, romantic love, parental love, or even love that you offer in service or in your community or in your career. It's like every expression of love holds radical transformation power, and that even goes with the pain that comes with love and the mess. It's not always the joyous, but all of it promotes growth and abundance and, just kind of like, growing as a full individual.
So when you talk about the pain of love, first thing that comes to mind for me is typically a relationship that ended, went well, but didn't go well. There's pain that comes from that. Do you feel that there's always going to be growth from your pain?
Yes, and like you were saying, sometimes love does come wrapped in pain from like loss or heartbreak or rejection or misunderstanding. But the thing is what the gift is there that a lot of people miss is all those experiences become invitations to clarity and your self-awareness and deeper compassion for yourself as well as everyone around you and everything around you. Think of it kind of like as a muscle that grows through resistance, which is, the capacity of love and transformation. And in the grand scheme of things, it increases when we don't shrink away from those moments, when we're not avoiding them or hiding, that love will grow even stronger when you kind of lean into that and learn.
Not easy. We don't want to do it, but I'd have to say it's true. Like, as far as almost, I don't want to say these words, but there is a lesson in everything. And the lesson is there to make you better,
Yeah.
So I want to do this.
Okay.
Back to Hadaway, that song. What is love? The next line is, baby, don't hurt me. I'm going to hurt you by singing, so I'm not going to sing anymore. What is love? And we are not permitted today to connect it to a romantic relationship, your family, anything like that. What is love then? Because let's put that aside, because we know, that's love. Okay, I got that. What is love? How do you describe it? Where does it show up for you?
For me, the way I think of love is it's a frequency where miracles can happen. So, I mean, that's like the most basic thing. And as we talked about, it is one of the highest vibrations. So when we tune into it, you literally change your reality, like tuning into a radio, like you just did. You know, when you set your dial to love, you invite that abundance and the healing and the possibility. But that's when you're accepting every form of it, not just what the movies portray as this, like, happy go lucky, because that is a huge part of it. But as we were talking about, it also can be a mess. And when you embrace the mess and the
Mm.
positive, that's when you feel the true essence of love and that vibration. And it can start radiating out into every area of your life.
So I was at a fundraiser a few days ago. It was for an animal rescue, and I I volunteered to get the photography done as my donation to them, et cetera, et cetera. And I've never been to this thing before, had no idea what to expect. It was There was a lot of dancing, there was a lot of music. It was like it was a good time. It was almost like going to a wedding. Um, and somebody asked me, "Well, how was it?" And I said, "You know what? There was a lot of love in that room." And that's how I best describe it because you didn't know everybody in the room. Maybe I knew out of everybody previously knew maybe three people and only just met them in the last couple of months, by the way, and then started meeting other people connected to it. Um, but
Yeah.
the vibe was there. People were all there for a common goal to raise money and awareness for animals that are up for adoption. And this woman that does all of this work, and then I start learning that she has a dog. He doesn't walk. She brought him there. He's got
Oh,
like these, I don't know almost like a doggy wheelchair where he just drags his feet and we. I had no idea. Somebody told me, yeah, you know what? For him to go to the bathroom, she has to massage his belly like 9 times a day,
oh.
$7,000 in meds every year, on and on and on. I'm like, okay, that's love too. That's love too.
Yeah.
Mm,
So, that's kind of like the ripple effect of love, what you're describing. And that
mm.
can be anywhere. It can be when you're walking down the street, like sometimes like you'll be walking down the street and you just see this couple that you can just feel the love exuding off of them. And even though maybe you're not feeling that at that moment, it gives you that sense of joy to just kind of experience seeing it and feeling other people feel it, and that's kind of like what was happening at the fundraiser, like
Mm.
you may not know everyone, but everyone's there for a common reason, and it's bringing everyone together. So it's kind of like the pebble effect, like when people are acting from a place of love, every thought and word and deed is
Yep.
like a pebble that ripples outward and it touches everyone. And that's where the magic is.
It really was. It was magical. And even just watching the people's faces as they were dancing and weirdly, they were kind of like dancing in synchronized. It wasn't a line dance. And you could feel like they were just like vibing and it was like, this is a good time. I never expected this, that, it was going to feel that way. And just so much positivity. And it's also, I think, too, like when somebody says, "Well, yeah, I love my grandmother's cooking. It's great. It's great." Um, what do they usually say? Why is it so good? Because grandma puts love into the making of the dish. There's something that's infused, that vibration. She's
Exactly.
lovingly doing it.
Yeah, and that's why love isn't just a feeling, it's a verb, as we all know, but as you said, it's a vibration, it's a decision, and it's a daily practice. And when you do that, it transforms everything around you, even the world. And that's why, like the pebble thing, you can be this tiny little pebble, and just one little act of love or one little act that makes someone feel love of some sort, just then it kind of just spreads. It's like pay it forward. It's one of those things that just kind of one little thing turns into a huge whole for the whole world. It's such an impactful vibration that we are, blessed to experience.
Do you think, Donna, that we should maybe reframe things a little bit and look at things in our daily lives every minute. And I don't mean this with the rose-colored glasses where you're just ignoring everything and just making sunshine, roses, lollipops, and unicorns. But look at everything through the eyes of love. Example, go to a convenience store today, get a cup of coffee. Gentleman there at the register, he has this way of saying, "Good morning,"
Yeah.
and you feel it. Like it's real. Like it's not like good morning. It's I don't know how he says it, but it's just you feel that he enjoys he loves what he's doing. He
Yeah.
loves being there first thing in the morning for people as they start their day. Um, I could look at that, with love. Like he's giving love to everybody as they, pay for their coffee or whatever and roll and they're on the way out. Do you think that we should kind of reframe it and see the love and see the love and it could be anything, everything.
Yeah, it is everything, you know? I mean, it's like sometimes you walk into the office and all of a sudden you see like a coworker or something that usually is very quiet to themselves, and all of a sudden they're like humming and like, you can tell they're in a good mood, and it makes you feel good. It's that type of vibration that instantly, helps raise your vibration.
Yes.
You're in a lower state. And just by seeing it or feeling it in someone else or something, it doesn't even have to be in a person. It could just be something you see that just like you see, like an animal that is with their baby or something. And just that moment touches something and makes you feel something. And all of a sudden, if you were upset, angry, or something, now you're kind of like, oh, well, like now I kind of feel a little bit better because you got to share that moment, even if it's not necessarily your own. And that's why, love
Mm.
can also be kind of considered like alchemy, it kind
Mm.
of turns the ordinary into the extraordinary just by sight, sound, touch. It brings in all the five senses. It's incredible.
That's a great point in that you show some, it spreads like the gentleman behind the counter. I feel
Yeah.
it. Like I'm talking about him because it made a mark and it's always the same. It's not like
Yeah.
he's in a bad mood one day. He just says this in the way he says it. But imagine if we all did that. Imagine if you hold the door for somebody and you smile and you say, "Hey, good morning." We don't do it because we're afraid to get judged. Oh, look at the creeper. It's just the
I
way
know, or
things
like
are.
that they're gonna call the cops on me. Like it's horrible, but
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's a shame, but
yeah.
imagine if we just did it. Imagine we all did it and showed some type of love on a regular basis in every situation, like the pebble.
Well, just like the bubble. And now that you keep saying Imagine, that's another one of my favorite songs. Imagine by
Um,
like Jen
wow,
Lennon. I mean, it kind of describes exactly what we're talking about. Like imagine all the people.
wow.
Like I mean, love is just so powerful, and around Thanksgiving and the holidays, it kind of gets accentuated. But like, imagine it, like we were saying, if that was all year round, not just for a holiday that's
Right.
coming up that people are getting excited for,
Mm.
because like I was referring to it as alchemy, sometimes the transformation begins with things that don't always look so sparkly at first, the pain, the disappointment, or even conflict. And it can transform into that beauty. Like we were talking about, walking into a store and feeling someone else's energy. It kind of can shift you from that into a more positive
Completely.
mindset or mood.
And you know what? Yeah, you said something there that I think we forget. Like somebody will say, "Okay, I got to change my life. I gotta move forward. I got to transform. Gonna hire a coach. I got to get this done." That's all fantastic, on the right path. But I believe you have to do your part too. And part of that is what you said, the alchemy in love.
Yeah.
If you start working on that, life isn't easy. I get it. Some days
Oh.
challenging more than others, and sometimes we're challenged. Um, but to find the positivity, to find the love in those moments, Imagine, really. I don't think you can just say, I'm going to change my life today. It's got to be a process and it's got to be intentional.
Intentional, and it's something that you have to take make sure you continue to take action
Yeah.
as well as be consistent with, because even you could think of it as habits. Like, it's hard to kick a habit if you're not consistently on top of it. So like, if you want to really transform or change or shift something in your life, you have to put that same willpower and love and into it, that commitment. Without the commitment, you're kind of just gonna keep floating around.
So do this. How about this? The gratitude love connection.
Yes.
The gratitude love connection. How does that look for you?
For me, the gratitude
Or
love
just in
connection.
general?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's it's the shape it takes. For me,
Mm.
love is expansive by nature. So it always is an invitation to grow and to soften and to become more aware and to see ourselves and others with new eyes. So for
Mm.
me, that's love. You know what I mean? It's more than just that feeling that we were talking about. It's kind of how you approach life and everything life throws your way. And put those new lenses on. Like, we always talk about those rose lens and glasses, You got to put those new eyes on, look at it from all different perspectives, you know?
Yes, kind of what we're saying, looking at it through new eyes, a
Yeah.
different way.
Hmm.
And the gratitude. Like I had an oil change over the weekend. No, wait. Um, Friend of a friend. I could have went to the dealership. They charge twice as much.
Yeah.
This friend of a friend, he works at a dealership, so he's very qualified. And he gave me some other information about my car and things to look out for, and all good, because I said, well, what do you think about this model? He knows all of them. And I looked at him and said, I really appreciate that. I'm not going to say love you, man, but
Yeah.
it just, I showed him gratitude, like, thank you for being there. And I said, how can I pay you? He goes, well, if you got cash. I said, to be honest with you, I actually brought cash. I did it for you. I don't know. I figured it would be easier. I'm not usually carrying it, but
Yeah.
I wanted to take care of him that way too. And I paid the fee, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Didn't need to do any extra. And the gratitude was there. I wish it would be okay for me to say, love you, man.
Yeah,
You know?
but that's, that me, it's just kind of like every day whenever I step out the door, I always, try to give my best energy when I'm around others, even on the podcast, sometimes, I've been battling a virus. I haven't been feeling very good, but, like getting on here, I want to give it my all, because when you're in a higher vibration, it just it helps raise other people's vibrations, and it just brings the energy to a whole different level, and it sets you up for transformation when you're at those higher vibrations.
You've alluded before to having, health stuff going on, could be virus and other things you've shared with us. I would never ever, you would be the last person I would think is dealing with anything like that. Seriously, because your vibration is always through the roof, like amazing. Like share it, give it to us. But I think you you have a passion for wanting to help people. So you push it aside, whatever you're dealing with, so that can shine through. That's what I feel.
Yeah, and I do, and it actually helps raise my own vibration, because it makes me happy doing that. When I see someone smile, even just by waving or kind of shooting a smile at them because they're walking on the street or whatever, it lights me up, and I just kind of, or like if someone's having a bad day and they just feel like venting for a few, and then they just are like, thanks for letting me get off that chest. I don't know them. You know what I mean? I don't know who they are,
Yep.
but just by letting them kind of roll that off their shoulder, all of a sudden now they feel better. And I love being able to have those opportunities to be that for people.
And you are, without a doubt. What else can you share? What didn't we talk about when it comes to love?
To love, I'd say love helps shift our focus from what's wrong to what's possible. So suddenly limitations
Mm,
become launching pads. And I don't think people realize that so often, but it's true and it
mm.
happens every day.
As much as, again, right back to the when we have challenges and you're in the face of adversity and you don't want to, see it another way. Many of us are addicted to suffering. We're so used to
Yeah.
it. We're so used to be itching and complaining about things. Again, I'm not minimizing anything for anybody. Like it's all of us. It's a journey every day. However,
Yeah.
I love what you said. Look at it through new eyes.
Yeah.
Things will italics and bold change. Things will
Yeah.
change.
And like a lot of people, like when life is hitting you hard, and you feel like everything's happening to you instead of with you, it's hard to sometimes see whatever that is from all perspectives because you're just feeling it so heavy. So that's why I always, tell people just take a step back, feel it and all that type of stuff, then reapproach and you might actually see whatever that is. It could be an argument you had, it could be something that happened at work, it could be anything. You know what I mean? You'll all of a sudden gain new insight and perspective, and you might actually feel differently than you initially did. But if you don't take the time to actually take that pause, then you're going to just sit in that initial feeling, which can sometimes just erupt into things that aren't so nice.
Or
And
sure.
then later, yeah, and then later you'll be like, oh, crud, like I didn't actually feel that way. I didn't mean it that way, instead of taking that initial few minutes or whatever to sit on it, So,
I completely agree, and I'm not going to say that just because we're here. I do. 3 words. Do something different.
yep.
Maybe that's take a drive and park in a park and just hang out for a little bit and just think. Maybe, for me this year, I committed to myself to going away solo. Never did it before. What am I gonna, what to expect? It's, a little out of my comfort zone, blah, 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 blah. Best thing, life changing.
hmm
And it wasn't expensive. Trust me, it was not. I mean, and a couple of weeks ago, I went away, just on a weekend, just, $50 flight round trip from New York to Florida. Not kidding. You can find ways, but do something different, whatever it is. Because I think we're stuck in the same, either it's the suffering mode,
hmm
or whatever, but we're always doing that. So look at it differently, just try something different. Like you just said, like
Yeah.
we were talking before we got on here that, we're going to take it easy tonight. Now I'm going to probably listen to an audiobook. I never do that. I'm going to do something
Yeah.
different. And I guarantee, or I trust, I'm going to see things differently,
Yeah.
whatever
You
they are.
know, and that's like what I've been doing with my 10-day challenge. I haven't been feeling well. I've had been stacking some of the days together, but it makes me feel good every time I, stay with it, even though, at some points I'm like, oh my God, I don't feel good enough to do
Yep.
this. You know?
Even silly things like writing in a gratitude journal. I haven't done it in a while. I
Yeah.
admit I haven't written in my journal. I did it this morning. And a lot of times, like, all right, I get it out. I'll go write it. Or even going to the gym. Oh, I'll just go to the gym. Once you do it, it's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm so glad I did that." You don't
Yeah.
see it.
And you get a little pepsier step,
Yes.
You don't feel it till after, but after you're like, wow, that felt good.
Okay, homework assignment. Here we go back,
Okay.
back, back to music. The song came out in the mid to late 70s. Late 70s.
Okay.
Love is the Answer by England Dan and John Ford Coley. It was a big top 10 song. Don't even have to listen to the song. It's a good song though. It's kind of, it's kind of soft pop, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
Look at the lyrics.
Okay.
Even when you're feeling down and out, it addresses that. It
I
actually
love
says that. I'm telling you, look at the lyrics. When I look at them, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, all right. Just look at them. I trust there. Everybody will see something in that song, in the lyrics, and then listen to it if you want. That's your choice.
Yeah.
All right, enough of me, more of you. How do we connect with you if somebody's looking for somebody to walk the journey? They know they need to change. They need to transform. How do they connect with you?
You can set up a strategy session with me on my website at donnadaytlc.com. You can also contact me through email at donnadaytlc@gmail.com or give me a call or shoot me a text at 201-719-6991. I'd love to hear from you.
Use that word again. I love your positivity. It is just I don't know anyone that exudes the amount of positivity you do. I really mean it.
Oh, thank you.
Like my day's better already. Just hanging with you. Thank you for today, and much gratitude for what you do, and happy Thanksgiving too.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
All right, well, we'll catch up next week.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.